Most canal boats are steered using a tiller, which is quite simple once you've had a little practice. Always stand in front of the tiller so it can't knock you if the rudder hits something under the water and swings the tiller over unexpectedly. Likewise, keep crew members clear of the tiller. Steering a 50 or 60-foot long boat down a narrow canal might seem a little daunting at first, but if you remember a few basic things, you'll soon get the hang of it. Always think ahead and line the boat up for bridges and locks well in advance. Don't go on the roof of the boat while underway. Bridges and overhanging branches can easily sweep you off. When steering, there are two main principles to bear in mind. Firstly, the boat can only be steered when the engine is in forward gear, which creates a flow of water across the rudder. Remember, no gear, no steer. Secondly, a narrow boat doesn't turn like a car with the back following the front. Instead, the boat will pivot around a point roughly halfway down its length. The boat is steered by the rudder pushing the back in one direction, which in turn causes the front to move in the opposite direction. So it's important to allow for the swing of the back when manoeuvring the boat. The secret is to let the front go past the point where you want to turn before pushing the tiller over to take the boat around. Otherwise, you run the risk of cutting the corner, which can sometimes take you into shallow water and you may even run aground. On bends, keep towards the outside where there is usually deeper water. If you do run aground, don't panic. It's easy to sort out. Simply get your crew onto the side of the boat opposite to where you're aground, then gently reverse away from the obstruction. Trying to go forward would just make matters worse. Selecting reverse gear will flush water under the boat, floating it off. If you're in very shallow water, you may have to use the pole to push the back out into deeper water before reversing. Make sure you use the pole against a solid object or the bed of the waterway, not against another boat or as a lever. Give yourself enough room to straighten up and steer away from the obstruction. If you want to turn the boat round, look for a turning place which is called a winding hole and will be marked in the guidebook by a curved arrow. Most winding holes have a rough V shape cut into the bank opposite the towpath. To turn your boat, put the front of the boat into the V, then use your engine in forward gear or use a pole to push the back of the boat round slowly. When you're far enough round, engage reverse to pull the front of the boat off the bank until you can steer away forward. Watch out for shallow water at the towpath edge. The cardinal rule with all manoeuvres on the water is to think it through first and perform the manoeuvre slowly. Slow right down, just short of where you want to moor, with your boat parallel to the bank. Have a crew member ready at the front and move forward slowly, steering into the bank. Before the boat touches, use reverse to stop the boat and let your crew member step off with a mooring rope. There's no need to jump, it's all too easy to slip between the boat and the bank. If there's a convenient ring or bollard, use this to help steady the boat, but don't pull it tight or you'll prevent the back coming in. With the tiller pointing towards the bank, use the engine to bring the back in, then use reverse gear to bring the boat to a halt, allowing you or another crew member to step off the back with a rope. Pull the boat into the bank and secure to the rings or bollards. It's a good idea to take the mooring ropes back to the boat rather than tying to the ring or bollard itself. If there are no rings or bollards, you'll need to put in mooring pins, again, where possible, taking the line back to the boat to secure. Pins should be kept away from the water's edge, but should never be positioned across the towpath. Always tie up with the ropes going outwards at roughly 45 degrees from the ends of the boat. When tying up, you won't need to learn lots of complex rope work. A few basic hitches will be all you need. The most common is the round turn and 2/2 hitches, used here to secure the back rope around the boat's bollards. If securing to a T-stud, take a couple of turns around the arms, then turn the rope under on itself to form a locking hitch. A good way to secure a rope temporarily around a bollard is the clove hitch. Form a loop in the rope, then take the free end around the bollard and place the loop over it. These 3 hitches should cover all the situations you're likely to meet. Make sure you never place your fingers between the rope and the bollards or rings. If the boat were to move, the rope could suddenly trap your fingers.